Hey, Pepin.
Yo, yo.
I've been thinking a lot lately about awkward.
Awkward? Like what?
Like, how sometimes there's like people and then you're there and then it's kind of like weird and you're like, I don't know how to react in this situation.
Like this one time, I was going on a date with a girl. It's the most fucking awkward thing I've ever experienced, actually.
Really?
Oh, fuck. I'm getting just, like, flashbacks now. This
Nate,
is terrible.
You're getting red.
Oh, jeez. This was really intense.
I think we need to talk. Welcome back. So glad you guys could join us. I am here once again with my best friend, the mic fidgeter himself, Nathan Pepin. How is it going for you, Nathan?
It's going absolutely and magnificently
well stated.
Wonderful.
I am here as well with my brother, the Queen of Awkward, Brian.
I was going to call myself that. That worked. Oh my God.
Stole it. I know you so well. It's like we're brothers.
Mind connected.
Sister.
Sister Twister.
I'm Tia.
Fine, I'll be tomorrow. But anyway,
When did you get here?
just now.
Man,
Literally just now.
You said awkward 3 times, so.
That popped up.
So you went on a date one time a while ago that was very awkward.
Very, very awkward. Yes. It's kind of hard to explain. There's a lot of story to it. But
So can we start at the beginning?
Yes.
Where did you meet this girl?
Okay, so I don't work here anymore. So I used to run a coffee shop, and I was the manager, and she was my night assistant manager.
Was that allowed?
Let's put it this way: my regional manager came in, and he's like, "Huh, I think you should go for her, Nate." Like,
So yes.
Was that allowed?
I don't think they cared.
Okay. All right.
I'm not 100% sure what the policy on that was, but it's like a smaller
Don't ask, don't
franchise.
tell.
Yeah.
You're being
it.
told by the regional manager to go chase that.
The
so-
regional manager said get the puss, so
The
you
poon.
sprinted.
But that was like before there was like any, say, sexual tension. Maybe he saw something there.
He saw the tension in the future.
Yeah, and what's her name is, I'm going to make something up, Jessica.
Okay. So it's definitely not Jessica. Let's be
Definitely not.
clear. There's no way that her name was Jessica.
It's not Jessica.
Okay. So Jessica,
Yes, Jessica.
you asked her out?
So no. So this is how it kind of worked. I was maintaining a platonic relationship with all my employees.
Okay.
Because I'm a very professional person. And Jessica was, she was actually pretty attractive. She was, I think, 18, maybe 19. I think she may have been 19.
On like a scale of 1 to 20 or?
Yes, on a scale of 1 to 20.
And how old were you?
I think 25.
Okay. All right.
So it's like within the range, but
It's not illegal. We got it.
It's on the lower side though. But
good.
But
You're a little young for what you're used to.
not in high school, so that's the main thing.
Man, things are getting weird.
Yeah, I mean, high school was a no-go area for
Alright.
certain.
Okay.
She lived on her own, blah blah blah. But she very attractive. She had a nice butt, but
Nice about like a big one or like
I'd
what
say-
do you like in a butt? I guess nice is kind of relative.
So when I say nice, I mean it was not cottage cheese. It was not like there's nothing there, and it's like, like kind of like it wasn't bony. It was, I'd say, athletic would be the term.
So a medium-sized tight butt.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like bam, but it was just
Yeah.
like bam.
Subtle.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
I would say maybe a little less size than medium, but definitely tight.
Can we talk a little more about the butt?
How was the hole?
I mean, to be honest, she often wore like those sweatshirts around her
Yeah.
her backside.
Midsection?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to see her butt too often.
Yeah.
But
But when you did, you filled your eyes.
no, I
Feasted.
averted my eyes. But now this is where the story gets weird.
Okay.
Or interesting.
Story's about to get weird, people.
I worked with and am friends with one of my employees, former employees now, but her name is Shannon. She's actually been on the show.
Oh yeah, she was on the zombie episode. She told her virginity story here.
Yeah.
Definitely go back and check those out. Those are like within the first 20 episodes. Go on.
And so she started getting hints that Jessica was interested in me. Like, I don't know how. It's like girls have that kind of sense. And it's like I had heard that Jessica like bragged about working with me and keeping my pretty face company a couple of times, which is kind of weird to say.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But
that's a nice compliment.
Shannon's like a total bro. Like that's kind of what I love about her. She's 35, and she's just like kind of like a mama bear, but also like a bro. So
but she looks like 20.
She looks like she's 20.
Okay.
But she will try to hook me up with like pussy all the time. Like that was kind of her thing.
Yeah.
And she saw an opportunity there. And so she started talking to Jessica, and she's like, yeah, what about you and Nate, and blah, 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 blah. And she's like, well, I have a boyfriend, but it's an open relationship, so let's see if we can't, like, maybe we do something. Let me check with him tonight. So, and they were kind of, like, talking about this, like, in proximity to me. So Jessica wanted me to hear. But, my personality is I just pretend like I didn't hear it. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. And we kind of go on, and on the ride home, I was giving Shannon rides home. Shannon's like, I think Jessica wants to fuck you. You totally go for it, dude. Do it. I'm like, well, but she's my employee. I can't do that. That's like not exactly safe. I mean, and she's like, no, she's on the night shift. You're on the day shift. Like, you don't ever see each other.
There's a complete separation at church and state there.
She's like, no, just go for it. Get that pussy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
it's not like you have to stick it in the donut hole. There's plenty of other holes you could go for.
Plenty. The mud hole?
Right in the mud hole.
The mud hole.
And the sweet, sweet donut hole. Special glaze. All right, go.
Christ.
So
it's that night glaze.
That night
shift glaze. Sorry, go ahead.
Sometimes you gotta glaze a donut.
Sometimes you gotta get it nice and glazed. All the old people come in and they like those like plain donuts with no glaze at all. But those 18, 19-year-olds love that glazed donut.
This is going too far. Continue with your story, please.
Consumer habits.
So it kind of goes on back and forth a little bit, and Shannon is kind of my intermediary between. She's trying to like get something planned.
Yeah, she's working a deal.
It really is. She's trying to get me laid, like really hard. And
why? Like, what is her personal?
She's a bro.
Okay, I guess.
She's a wingman.
She's the wingman.
Wingman,
okay.
flying with the eagles. Wingman.
Shannon's got an interesting personality because like she's like a dude at heart in a way. Like if there's a chance to get one of her guy friends laid, like she will try to get them laid. I mean, if she likes you. If she doesn't like you, probably not. But she liked me, so she wanted to get me laid pretty bad. And maybe she thought I needed to get laid. Maybe that's part of it too.
Probably.
I mean, it's a possibility. So Jessica finds out eventually that her boyfriend was like, yeah, it's cool. We're open. Yeah, go ahead. And she's like, okay, we can. And so I eventually get a text from Jessica saying, hey, you want to hang out?
Okay, so she initiated.
Wink, wink.
And I'm like, yeah, we can hang out. You can come down to my place. She's like, yeah, sure. What time? And so we planned out a time. And, like, I've never really been involved in the hookup exactly. So, and I know she was kind of involved in the hookup culture a little bit. So.
Are you against a hookup?
No.
Okay, so you've just never participated yourself. So as far as the logistics go, there's some ignorance there.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha. I'm just trying to get in your headspace.
So, like, this is the way I figure it works out. So you invite the girl over to your house, or maybe you go over her house. Maybe you have like a little date thing to make it seem like it's not just for sex. But, the pretense is, or the through lines, it's just for sex, right?
Okay, so you open the door and you say sex now or later. That's how a hookup goes. And then if they say now, you go fuck. And if they say later, you make a pizza and fuck while it's cooking.
So it wasn't like that.
Okay.
Simple.
But, so, this is kind of what ended up happening. So, we didn't ever establish that there was going to be sex occurring. It was implied, and I was okay with the implication because, as far as my mind goes, the less like text, kind of threads going that way, the better, because
The less incrimination.
It was less incrimination. Also, I didn't think she would not keep the secret, but it's like any kind of coffee shop or any fast food area. It's like Gossip City.
So you knew it was coming out and you wanted deniability.
Yeah, if there's a text message saying, "Hey, come down to my place and fuck,"
Come down to my place
C-U-M.
with a C-U-M. Then it's over.
yeah, and good chance that she would show that to somebody, and that person would show somebody, and it'd go through a whole branch. Whereas if, let's say, there's no text, there's some deniability there.
No paper trail.
So yeah, I was open to leaving it implied and just kind of being a little bit more flirty. I looked at her butt a couple more times. Like, I had not looked at her butt to that point, I will say, mostly because she always had like a sweater on. But I tried to remain cordial. Though Shannon would always encourage me to look at people's butts. She's all about the butt looking. But so we make a plan, make a date, and okay, let's do this. And again, I don't know exactly what to do, so I figured this is how it's gonna play out. She'll come over to the place, and we'll talk a little bit. Be a little bit casual, kind of chit chat a little bit, and then maybe we have something to eat if she's hungry, or maybe we don't. But we kind of just get a little bit closer.
What would you have to eat? Soup?
Uh,
A nice hearty soup?
Each other's asses.
Oh.
Nice little appetizer.
That's the app, baby. That app platter.
The poo-poo bladder for two, baby.
Okay, go on.
I was thinking, like, I don't know, like maybe a pizza or something.
Okay, yeah.
Something simple.
Like a frozen one or an ordered one?
Well-
This matters, Nate. I promise you
do.
this matters.
McDonald's, I don't know, just anything.
You would get McDonald's?
I don't.
Are you saying that because you can see one from here?
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Okay, I got it. So something quick and nearby.
Yeah, she lived a little ways away, so I didn't know if she was hungry or not.
Yeah.
Or if she just wanted, like,
So was she hungry?
No. I mean, not from I didn't get any indication. So, but the intention was, maybe get something to eat if she wanted to eat. If not, we'll just hang out, and, you start off like a little bit further away because, you're both kind of like coworkers in a way and trying to like maintain that respectability. But then the idea is to kind of break that by getting a little bit closer and closer, accidentally kind of touching her on the shoulder and the leg and kind of like,
So you had the long con planned out.
It would be like maybe like a 7 to 10 minute one, and then you'd eventually just start making out and ripping each other's clothes off and then going upstairs, and that's how you do it.
Going upstairs? Oh, this is at the other place.
Yeah, this is at the other
I
place.
thought you meant here. I'm like, where are you going?
This is the apartment.
Going up to the attic.
Yeah,
The attic, the best place.
The only place.
yeah. For reference, this employee I had, or the place I was living at, it was with a roommate, and there's a downstairs and upstairs, and my roommate wasn't supposed to be back that day until like 4 or 5, so we had plenty of time.
What time did you set the date up?
It was like 12 p.m. or something.
Wait, in the middle of fucking noon?
Yeah.
Okay, go on. Wait, okay, I need to hear. I'm sorry to keep stopping you. I do want to get to the awkward part, but I need to be able to picture her in my head a little bit better. Tell me more about the butt. No.
Oh
Tell
my
me.
God.
I need to know hair color.
So hair color is
color.
kind of it's like a light brown, kind of brunette type thing.
Okay, eyes.
Eyes, I think they're hazel. Though there might be like hazel, kind of green bluish.
Yeah.
Kind of
Okay,
a
and
combination there.
how long was the hair?
Her hair was very long. So she usually had a ponytail, but her hair is like a lion's mane. This is one of the weird things about her hair. It's like controlled when it's like this, but then she takes it off. It's like just like a lion's mane.
Yeah.
It's
So
kind
how was it when she appeared at the door?
she was presentable.
What? No.
When she left,
What
she
was their hair like when she came to the door?
Oh my god.
Ponytail.
Ponytail. Okay. What was she wearing?
She was wearing, I think it was like a jeans. It was a
Did you just say jeans and tap your top part of your
Jeans.
body? Jeans up top.
yeah.
It's a jean
Okay.
jacket.
She was
jeans.
wearing jeans. Yeah.
Yeah, jeans. This is a jeans or a skirt. I can't quite remember.
Okay, those are opposite.
It was a skirt.
Okay, she's wearing a skirt,
Oh well, this
like
is gonna,
like down to just above the knee skirt, or was it
uh,
like short, like mid thigh?
it was like about like slightly above the.
You're putting
knees.
you're putting like 2 inches above the knee. Okay,
Yeah,
go
yeah.
on.
And she was wearing I'd say a lower cut top.
Okay.
And which
Yeah.
I had never seen her breasts at that point because it's like at work we had to wear these aprons and it's just a lot of baggage essentially, kind of covering everything. So I'm like, they actually seem somewhat ample. This is exciting here.
Somewhat ample.
Yeah, somewhat ample.
Okay.
And-
All right. So she comes in. You're expecting to start out far away from each other and slowly do this, the getting to know you, getting closer together, and then start making out and rip each other's clothes off and go upstairs.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So she appears at the door.
Yep. And so
What really happened?
I'm like, hi, Jessica, hi. And then I give her a hug and
Oh yeah, that's good.
I welcome her in. And it's like, oh, have a seat here.
You make her take her shoes off.
Maybe. I forget. But, sit down and she seems a little like awkward, a little uncomfortable. Like she's not quite sure like what's happening. And I'm just thinking, like, she knows the deal here is like to fuck. I mean, I talked to Shannon about this. Like, she doesn't think we're just hanging out here. But I'm like, I think she's just like a little bit nervous, a little bit hesitant because she doesn't quite know me outside of work. So I'm like trying to make myself more like relatable in a way, like just being kind of like very cool and casual and talking to her about shit. And so I start asking, well, how's your day? Blah, 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 blah. And, start talking, catching up with stuff. And she's kind of having the conversation, but she's kind of like not really like giving much back. I mean, she's having the conversation, but there's nothing like physically coming back. So I'm like, okay, I just need to like, start making a couple moves here. And so I start, get closer to her, and she says something like, let's say a little bit funny. So I kind of like, I hate you. It's like, you kind of like push her.
Wait, what'd you say?
Push her?
Did you say I hate you and push her?
No, like, oh, you.
Oh, you.
Oh, you. Oh, come
That's,
on.
Okay, that's gay. Go on.
That's something you actually did?
No.
okay.
I'm trying to get to, like, the like, essence.
Oh,
Not to, like,
okay.
roast you.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Good to know.
Like, I don't know exactly what I said, but... So it's like, okay. So, I'm trying to, like, get closer to her. I kind of have, like... This is this thing you do where you kind of get next to them, but you have your hand kind of there, and so it's kind of pressing against their leg a little bit, and see if they're comfortable with that, and then maybe just, put your hand on their leg. And so I'm just like, okay, she's just a little uncomfortable because she's never touched me before, and maybe we just have to, like, get a little bit more comfortable here, and then we'll start making out. Maybe this is how this will start happening. So, get a little bit closer, and she's not, like, giving anything back. Like, and then she, like, pulls out her phone, and it's like, yeah, I found all these funny memes here, like, and she's like, showing me these memes, and they're all like,
oh, stop giving me mixed signals and start sending me memes.
That's how she initiates.
And they're all sex memes. So it's like stuff like, why would you get a car if you're not gonna drive it? I mean, it's like having a girlfriend that you're not gonna fuck, and like all kind of sex memes like that. Like, just kind of, they're kind of funny, but also kind of like, where did she come across these?
She's specifically hunting these down for this moment.
She's in the deep Facebook.
Yes, recycled meme hell.
She's on sexmeme.facebook.
Yeah,
It's not even a real Facebook page.
probably is.
So I'm trying to escalate my touch with her and trying to get her to like reciprocate a little bit, and she's not reciprocating. She's just kind of like just facing like sideways. She's not like looking at me very much. No real eye contact. I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? Like I don't want to be like getting to like a rapey territory. I mean, not that I would ever get to that point, but it's like if she's not interested in this, like, why would she be here? Number one. So I'm pretty sure she wants me to act on her, but I'm a little confused. So maybe she's just uncomfortable and she needs to warm up still. And so we're having a conversation. She finishes up with the sex memes, puts her phone away. She's like, okay, I'm gonna go to Tropical Smoothie.
It's a good place.
I'm like, okay. And then she just like starts walking out the door.
Oh.
I'm like, you want me to go with you? She's like, oh yeah, you can. Okay.
Okay, this is weird.
So
Brian, is this weird?
Just a bit. You're gonna
Okay,
fuck in
okay.
the Tropical Smoothie Cafe bathroom.
Wait,
That's
so
where I'm seeing this going.
When there were these sex memes, were they all just like text based, or were there some actually showing like people having sex?
It's porn.
I think there was one with like two animals fucking, but not like in like a.
I'm just trying to think of any segue you could have used to, like, obviously memes are her comfort zone.
You want to do what they're doing in this picture?
That's what I'm thinking. If you're like, we should try that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you can play it off as a joke, or if she wants to take it seriously, then she has the opportunity to take it seriously.
I feel like that's
And she could throw the joke back at you and be like, "Oh yeah, you want to?" And you're like, "Yeah, seriously." Then
Let's
you
do
can
this.
you can escalate that way, and it's not threatening, and then That way she has the opportunity, if she's really not interested, to just be like, no.
Okay, I'm not going to disagree. That might not be a method there.
I'm trying to think in my head, like,
What
this
she
is
was trying to
weird.
think,
Like,
yeah.
like, does she want you to be super forward? Because that's a way to be super forward without making it threatening. Because as a straight white male, you are a threat always. So you need to find a way to not be threatening but still take control. It's this weird dichotomy that is very hard to navigate in some situations. And I feel when she's not giving you anything to go on, as far as body language, as far as eye contact, as far as anything, if anything, you have to steer the opposite way and be like, well, I guess she doesn't want anything then. Or she just really fucking wants a smoothie.
Well, yeah.
Well, and it's definitely confusing with the sex meetings because that was kind of like sending out sexual signals right there, right?
Also, she's coming over on the pretense that you guys are going to do this because she even said that she talked to her boyfriend. She's in an open relationship.
Yeah,
She said that. Yeah, she said that to
Shannon.
the connecting friend.
Yeah,
to Shannon.
So I mean, it's implied, but obviously if she's not comfortable.
There's been no direct communication between Nathan and Jessica that says we're going to do this. It's all been through Shannon.
That's a problem.
So that's where the disconnect happens. That neither of you necessarily knows that the other one knows what you know.
Right.
But you both do know that you know what the other knows.
It's fine.
So you both know it, but there's nothing that connects that.
But you're going to Tropical Smoothie.
Unless Shannon showed up and then left. Then it would have been. Been like, I'll leave you two to fuck.
Just backs out.
Go get a smoothie.
To me, it should have been clear, and I think she would have assumed that Shannon had set something up with that. Okay.
Listeners who are listening right now, we're going to continue with this story. I'm going to start harping on this, but I need to know where we're at right now. Pause the episode, write it out. Write out what you're thinking, and then continue listening to the episode. And I want you to send us what you thought, why she's acting the way she is. And then as it continues, does it support it, or is she just weird? And I need to know. Pepin needs to know, is this him being weird, or is this girl being weird and we're just not understanding? Okay, continue on. So she says, yes, I guess you can come with me.
Yep. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not sure if I was supposed to be like. It was one of those things where it's like, where's she gonna go without me? Like, is she bored? Does she not want to do this? Like, what's going on here? I'm confused. Maybe this is like, she's just kind of like, I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. So I'm like, okay, I'll just invite myself on. Cause like at this point, like I'd been thinking about getting pussy for a couple days. So I was like needing to get that pussy.
Mm-hmm. Yep, your mouth was watering for pussy. Hers was mouth watering for a smoothie.
So I'm like, I'm like, okay.
Cock smoothie.
Ew. No.
So we go to, so we get in our car and we go to Tropical Smoothie, and we wait in line for like 7-8 minutes, and she gets a smoothie. She doesn't get anything for me or ask me if I want anything. I'm like,
I mean, that place is expensive. I don't blame her.
I mean, okay. I mean, I would have maybe bought, or I don't know, but it's like, okay.
Did you get a smoothie?
No.
Did you share?
I didn't really.
Oh, that'd be cute.
I didn't really get like invited to, you know.
Well, you were standing in line with her, right?
No, we went through the drive-through.
Oh, wait, and she was driving.
She was driving.
Oh, okay. Go on.
She wanted to take her car.
That's weird. She didn't even ask you, like, do you want anything?
No.
Okay, this is weird. Go on.
She didn't give me a chance to really order either.
Yeah, okay, go on.
So, like...
What kind of smoothie did she get?
She gets, like, I don't know. It's, like, one of those healthy green ones.
Okay.
She's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's got messed up bowels.
Yeah, she'd bring it into work all the time, but... she can't live on fast food because she well, okay, this plays in the story later. We'll cover that.
Okay.
at that point.
Okay, keep going. Yep, she gets the smoothie, doesn't offer you anything. Very weird.
Yeah, so like,
Were you guys having normal conversation throughout the car?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm not bad with small talk, I don't think. So I was having small talk and blah 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 blah, talking about some work things, of course. Kind of not about work specifically, but about things at work, like people and her life, and that sort of stuff.
Things that you knew you guys had in common?
Yeah.
Okay.
And asking her questions about because she grew up somewhere in the area. I'm like, okay, blah blah blah. And she's like, I'm gonna go for a hike. I'm like, okay. Am I coming? She's like, if you want to. I'm like, okay. So we end up going to this like little hiking area, and It's like, okay, so I'm not exactly sure what's happening. Maybe this isn't a date. Maybe something got misconstrued here. Maybe Shannon was mistaken. I'm not quite sure. So we get out of the car, and she opens up her trunk, and I mean, her car is pretty messy. There's like a lot of stuff in this back, and there's like everything you can imagine. And then in the back, there's like a whole like thing, like a whole big pile of clothing and a couple other things, but a lot of clothing. And then
living in her car.
She's living in her car.
Oh, okay.
Did I ruin it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I ruin it? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
We can edit this out.
Okay.
But no, you didn't ruin it. But so she's living in her car, and the one thing I knew about her is that like she had nothing to do on her days off, so she just drove around, and she'd go down to Massachusetts, New York, like just any place. And so we thought that she's like driving around, but come to find out, she just had nothing to do, like no friends or anything. I mean, I was like no friends, but no one to hang out really.
Man, that was harsh. Go on.
Friends.
Okay, so she went for a hike.
So she was living out of her car, but so
Were they nice clothes?
Okay,
go on. Sorry.
So
Dumb question.
So at the time, she was wearing a skirt and like a low cut shirt, and then just in the middle of the parking lot, she takes off her shirt and takes off like her skirt, and she starts changing, like not fully naked, but it's like enough to like see plenty, and I'm like, what's happening here? She's just stripping in front of me. So she's okay. I think she's actually is interested in me, and she's sending me a message like she wants me to look and kind of like observe a little bit. Maybe not creepily, but kind of like it's kind of like she's being attractive and sexy. And then there's like all these kind of like cars passing. This one truck passes and kind of honks the horn. It kind of waves, and I'm like, hi, and it's like, okay, she's a little bit of a what's the word, like voyeurist.
No, wait, that's when you look, right?
Well, a voyeur is somebody that looks, but
Yeah. So what's the opposite? Exhibitionist.
Yeah. So she's a bit of an exhibitionist. Oh, okay. So maybe that's part of the excitement in me seeing her too, I guess.
So she wanted to fuck in public.
Maybe.
Your house was too private for her to get it out.
oh my god, for her clit to get engorged.
Well stated.
I just had to.
So I'm like, oh, okay. And then it's like, at that point, I realized that her breasts were much bigger than I thought and much nicer than I thought. So I'm like, okay, I definitely want to like see these boobs in like real life. I want to experience these because this is good here. It's like buying like something you think there's like only one of them in the package, but it ends up being two.
Oh, you thought she had a uniboob.
It's exactly right.
Oh my.
So, okay, so did you comment on her at all? Or the situation?
I was like, oh, just getting dressed right here. And she's like, yep.
Yeah, okay. And that's where it ended?
I'm like, okay, I'll just wait here. You want me to like watch? No.
You asked. She wanted you to
okay,
watch.
Sorry, I should complete it. Watch for like people. She's like, no, I don't care. People can see me. Mm-hmm. But this is really kind of strange because at work, she's very concerned about people looking at her. Mm-hmm. So it's like one of like I talked about how she always had like the sweatshirts around her so people don't look at her butt and that sort of thing. And she always like covered up a lot. Outside of work, she's just changing in public.
Interesting. Okay.
That's strange.
And so it's like, oh, okay.
So did you comment on her body at all?
That comes at a later point here.
Okay, go on. So she changes into a t-shirt and shorts?
Yes, I believe it's a t-shirt and shorts. It may have been like those like short jean type things.
Yeah.
But
she has pockets now.
Something more applicable for like a hiking environment than a skirt. And it's more of a, not like the flowery dress shirt that she had and that was like low cleavage, but something still with low cleavage, but it's more like a sports shirt.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, so we start walking. It's the first time I've been on this walk, and she's telling me about this waterfall and how it's like really nice and kind of cool looking. So we're walking, and I'm trying to like get kind of close to her hand, like in a way that like maybe like I can hold her hand.
Why are you making thrusting motions with your fist?
Just so maybe she can
just getting closer to her. Jesus.
It's the frustration I was having.
Oh, okay.
It's just kind of like, okay, like maybe, but there wasn't really an opportunity, and I just kind of felt awkward. And I kept on like kind of holding, like not
what
holding.
What if you fake fell and like
oops,
thrust into her?
Nope.
And then you're like, you grabbed her hand and held yourself up. And then
that's like way worse.
Then you just never let go.
Handcuffed each other.
Okay.
Hey,
Pepin.
Yo.
Do you usually subscribe to entire podcasts, or do you look for specific topics?
Well, I try using the search function on my podcast player on my phone. It doesn't work too well. Try using Google. It's not really set up for it, so I honestly have trouble.
Why don't you just use Listen Notes?
Listen Notes? What's that?
It's a search engine for podcasts that doesn't just search for the terms you're looking for in the title of the episode or the title of the podcast, but from inside the episode itself. Meaning if you're looking for a specific topic, you can find specific podcast episodes that are about that topic.
You know, that sounds a lot easier than spending the hours and hours I have just trying to find the exact right keywords to actually get it to bring up the episode. I mean, usually I just get like a million how to start your own podcast articles. It's really annoying. So that sounds a lot better.
Exactly. When you're looking for something to listen to, just go to listennotes.com, type in a topic you're interested in, and you'll get instant gratification, useful results. That's listennotes.com. Check it out now. Okay.
So we keep walking, and it's like I'm trying to like make some sort of move on her, like hold her hand, touch her on the side, trying to get some sort of contact, and she's just like a dead fish. And it's like, okay, like, can you like give me something back, like, because it seems like on some level you're signaling something to me. On the other level, it sounds like you don't want anything to do with me. Like why am I even here right now? And
because you invited yourself.
I guess that's somewhat true, but she
could have said no, though. That's the weird part. She was like, I guess, which I mean, I guess you could take as, okay, I'm going to back off. But
it wasn't like, okay, be clear, it wasn't like, I guess. It was more like, oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
It kind of like she wanted me to, like, invite myself.
The story's changing.
I mean...
Go on. Just go on. I'm just being an ass.
Fucking ass.
You got to remember, that's literally my job on this podcast is to be an asshole and make jokes.
Especially thick jokes.
This would not be a 30-minute story if it wasn't for my jokes, okay? So go on. Okay. I'm dragging this out.
So it's like, so we're walking along and, things are going all right. I kind of like have her by the small of her back and I'm like, okay, she seems all right with this.
Weird phrasing. I kind of have her by the small of her back, like she's a fish, like she's literally a dead fish.
Oh my god!
Okay,
this whole story's different.
I get you.
Okay, but we get to the waterfall and I'm like, oh my god, this looks so nice. She's like, yeah, it does. And then I kind of start walking down, kind of look at it closer. She just keeps walking.
Okay.
I'm like, you gonna look at this? No, I'm gonna keep walking.
She's looked at it before.
Okay.
I'm like, okay.
She's in control. Got it.
At this point, I'm worrying because it's like she's my ride home.
Fuck.
Also, she probably has a knife.
She's gonna chop you up.
What if she was leading you to a murder zone? She's like, no, I don't want to stop here. I've been here too many times.
She dumps the bodies in the fucking...
Possible.
Okay, go on.
The clothes aren't hers. They're her victims.
Oh my god, you just blew my mind.
So so I'm like, oh, okay. So I catch up because I don't know where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how to get back. Like, if I lose her, I lose her. Like, I'm just stuck out there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll follow you. So we get walking, or we keep walking, and eventually we reach a point where it's like, okay, I think we should turn around. And we kind of just like stand there, and she kind of looks at me, kind of like she wants me to make a move, like kind of like go and kiss her, like not obvious, right? There's been times in the past where like I haven't like gone for a kiss, and the girl like kind of like goes in for like a kiss, like she really wants it or something. But this is not like obvious kind of kiss me kind of thing. But it's she wants me to like do something with her, but it's just like her body language is such that it's kind of like a bit defensive. And it's like, so I'm trying to like get a little bit closer, kind of, but nothing's happening. So I'm like, okay, let's walk back, and we keep walking back, and things are all right. We're talking, we're jovial, let's say. I mean, the conversation wasn't bad. It's just like, for me, it's more this connection between our conversation and our body language, and maybe the intent of the meeting to begin with. And so we keep going, and I decide, okay, fuck it. We're getting towards the end here. I'm just gonna escalate my touching a little bit, and maybe she'll reciprocate. And so keep going, and like I kind of grab her hand a little bit, and I'm like, so I want to make sure because I'm getting a little bit more aggressive, but it's not like at a like obviously no like line being crossed exactly. And I'm like, so are you comfortable with me like kind of grabbing your hand or touching you on the back? She's like, well, not exactly. I have a boyfriend.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, okay. Sorry, I wasn't aware. And I'm just thinking, like, why is this something she like? Okay, I don't know where to go for this.
Wait, she has a boyfriend and she's living in her car?
Yeah. Well, if you want to expand upon that, we can.
Well, Brian's got a question.
Also, I thought that they were in an open relationship. I thought this was discussed to you as well.
No. So everything that's been communicated has been through Shannon.
Yes. And
So she has deniability on anything that was said because it all came through Shannon.
Okay.
So in her mind, in the conscious mind between the two of them, they don't know anything that they know.
Right. Oh.
All they know is that she asked to hang out with him, and that's it.
Oh. Okay. Oh, I don't know why I didn't
In the
get that.
conscious mind between them, everything went through Shannon, and that's why I'm saying everything went wrong because it all went through Shannon.
That's definitely.
So it made everything awkward because
crux
she
of
was
the
telling Shannon stuff that is not turning over to Nate.
Yeah.
She was like going one way and now she's on the opposite side of the fence. And that's what's making this so fucking awkward. Please continue.
And Steve kind of knows me, but I'm not exactly direct. I'm very like with my personality type. I can be direct with certain things, but I'm very polite, and I beat around the bush a little too much. But yeah, so I'm like, oh, okay. And then, so, we keep walking. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And
But you did know.
I did know, but I
But
thought...
did she know that you knew?
So,
Outside of the Shannon thing.
she knew that I didn't know that she had a boyfriend.
Okay, so you were telling the truth in this lie. In this lie of you two don't know exactly what's going on.
That's a whole shit situation.
The only reason why I know she had a boyfriend was because Shannon discussed the whole...
That's a better way to say it. Is the only reason you knew is because of Shannon. Okay,
yeah, and
go on.
Either way, if you have an open relationship and you ask for permission, you say, well, I'm in an open relationship, so I think it's okay. Yeah, I have permission from my boyfriend to do whatever. Mm-hmm. Like that's what you say. You don't say.
So she was using this as a defense, despite the fact that she had told Shannon the opposite.
Yes,
and that's what was confusing to you, but you couldn't confront it because you didn't actually know these things outside of Shannon. And Shannon is this big taboo. Everything that Shannon told you is taboo. And everything that Shannon told her is taboo. And that's where this awkward comes in because there's this black cloud hanging over you that you both know, but neither of you were willing to say it. So, okay. So you said, I'm sorry I didn't know, even though that was a lie.
Yeah.
And she says...
She says, oh, it's all cool. Blah, blah.
Yeah.
So we keep walking, and... then she starts like making all these like sexual kind of things. Like I kind of tripped over a rock, and I like making funny sounds when I trip on rocks. So I'm like, oh, and she's like, oh, I like it when you make that sound. And she starts making like innuendos like that. She starts escalating with the innuendos, and then she starts telling me about her bucket list and some of the stuff that's on it. She's like, yeah, one item on my bucket list is to give my boss a blowjob. And I'm like, oh,
so subtle.
That sounds like a great item. And at this point, so what's like an illegal, this is how my mind works. She set up a hard boundary by saying, I have a boyfriend. That is a hard boundary to say, don't pursue me any further right now. Or, at this moment, today at least, don't pursue me any further. I suppose if she gives like some sort of signal later to just pursue her, that like a clear one. But if I were to pursue that further, that would kind of be considered sexual assault in a lot of ways. You could say maybe not because she's just being strange, but at this point I can't say, from my point of view, I can't say, oh yeah, I wish I could receive that.
What if you did say, well, if you ever want to make that a reality, let me know?
I feel like that's even still kind of crossing the line.
I mean, it is, but it's not, because it's
she
not
meant.
saying like right now. It's saying if you ever. I mean, I don't disagree. It's like it's not a good
Right.
thing to necessarily say, but
But her even just bringing it up, it's a little questionable.
like
It's such a strange.
I don't know. She's definitely being wishy-washy in and of herself.
Extremely.
I think that I think she wanted the sex at that point, but she realized she brought up the whole not the whole boyfriend thing, and so now she's trying to like she realizes that's like okay, now I'm just kind of like completely disconnected from the sexual advances here, because I can't sexually advance now, because that's a hard no. Like I can't like even if I know like she doesn't know, even if I know she doesn't mean that necessarily, maybe she's still interested, like on some say metacognitive level. Because again, this is like the whole confusion with the Shannon being the intermediary here. It's still something I can't press towards, because that's just like gets into rapey territory. So, or I could be like on the Me Too campaign, as one of the people who was
As a Bill Cosby.
that's Bill Cosby. Fuck.
So many names.
But so we keep walking. She keeps making all these like sexual kind of comments and stuff. And actually, one comment I think I forgot to make at some point, prior to her telling me she had a boyfriend, is I made a comment about her body. I made a couple comments about her body, like her looking kind of nice and pretty, and I liked her hair and so on. But then one comment I made to her was just like Jessica, I didn't expect your boobs to be so big. Wow, they're crazy. And she's like, she had a good laugh, and she's like, oh my god, that's hilarious. Yeah, it's like I wear like the stuff, and she kind of explained. It's like, yeah, they actually are pretty decent size. I'm like, yeah, they are. I like them. And she's like, yeah, that's good. I like them too.
That's good.
Okay. So that was kind of, so
you both like her boobs.
Yeah.
Established.
Come to that conclusion.
so it's like we get back to the car, and it's like, okay, so this is dead. I'm not getting laid tonight. This whatever. I just have to accept it. I'll just like beat one out tonight. It's fine.
And then she sucked your dick.
So then it's like,
bites
okay,
it off.
so we're all right. So let's get back. And she's like, okay. And then she drives to Big Lots.
That's where
my
the
God.
freakiness happens.
Oh god.
In the Big Lots parking lot.
The date that'll never end.
Big Lots.
So you got a slushie or a smoothie.
This is the first time.
She got a smoothie.
Does she still have the smoothie at this point?
She sucked that bad boy down before the hike.
Fuck.
So I've never been to Big Lots, so I'm just like, well, like okay,
Another adventure.
what's going on? Okay.
Was there a waterfall?
No.
Don't go chasing them.
And so she buys a couple of things to eat, and she mostly junk food, and I think a soda or something. I'm like, okay.
Brings it home.
Like, I don't know what's kind of happening. She's trying to extend our like time together now. Like, it's all kind of obvious. I don't know why.
Did you guys test out the beds?
No.
Oh, that would have been a good opportunity.
I mean, you could say there's many opportunities in here, but not for me.
Yeah. No.
strange.
She needed to make the next move. She had shut down all of the initial attempts, and now she needed to make a move in order to make it okay again for you to make moves.
She also, at least in my mind, I mean, different people have different levels or different tolerances for, like, say, aggressive sexual behavior. Because I don't necessarily think more forward behavior is necessarily bad, so long as it's within the right context and you allow the other person to say, no, get off me or stop, or you're able to, like, read them. Because some people, like, they don't want the slow 15-minute build up to, like, making out. They want like a bit more aggression, especially like with hookups. So I can imagine that, but if there's no reciprocation, like, there has to be some sort of reciprocation. If there's no reciprocation, I can't do anything, because it's just like the person's not into it. I'm not getting any signals to keep going. So she finishes up at Big Lots, and I'm kind of like, well, I guess one thing I got out of this day was that Big Lots is a place. I guess I know what they sell now. So we get into her car, and she starts getting like a little bit extra chatty with me and talking about a few things. She brings up kind of sexual stuff again, and
Lots brings out the best in people.
And she's trying to like just continue the conversation, like bring something up, like so yeah. What do you want to do next? I mean, we could just like drive around. I was thinking about driving to Massachusetts. You want to come with me?
Oh, now she's inviting
It
you.
never ends.
I'm like, no. I mean, if you want to keep hanging out, though, we could go back to my place. She's like, I don't know. I mean, we could watch some Netflix and chill. No, I don't think so. I kind of just want to drive right now. We could like watch something good and maybe not watch it and just kind of chat and kind of do whatever. And she's like, I don't know. And I'm not sure if she was getting the metaphors or what I was trying to get at there. I'm not sure if it flew over her head, or I'm not sure if she was denying me. I can't tell. And so she ends up bringing me back to her place, and she's really disappointed, like kind of like I felt. Like I got the sense of that, like, that feeling when you think you're gonna get laid, and then your dick just has the kind of extra limp feeling. It's just like I have the sexual energy, but I don't even think I could get it up right now. Like
It's too much.
Okay.
Anyway.
So it's just like, she has this like, oh, I thought we were gonna hook up today. Like she had that kind of like mentality like going on with her. Like I felt, and she's like, okay. So she takes like the extra long route back home. She's like, this is where I grew up here, and my sister lives over here.
Childhood home.
I'm like, okay.
Like, I'll show you where my sister lives. It's on the way through Mass.
Maybe we can have a threesome. That's where this goes.
I kind of wish. But she brings me back to my place, and I'm like, okay, Jessica, it was great seeing you here. Well, I'll definitely see you back at work. I hope you have a good drive down to Massachusetts. She's like, thank you. Is there anything else? No, I'm going to go back inside now. See ya. Because at that point, I was just kind of sick with it. And get in, and I'm just, like, frustrated. And I tell this whole story to Shannon, and Shannon's like, what? And she had, like, all the same questions you guys did. Like, well,
like what does her ass look like?
What was her hole like?
Tell me about them holes.
And I was just like, she's like, well, what about this? Well, did you do this? I'm like, oh, I couldn't because this and that. Like, she wasn't giving me any feedback. She's like, what, really? We talked about this. Like, she totally wants to fuck you. I'm like, I know she wants to fuck me, but I can't fuck her if she's not doing it. So it's like that kind of back and forth thing. And then, so eventually, a little bit later, Shannon talks to her and tries to get the lowdown. And so there's two things that Jessica said. One was that, I don't know, I have a boyfriend. And Shannon's like, dude, you got permission. You wanted to fuck him. Like, why didn't you just... And she's like, yeah, I know. I just kind of felt bad about it. But more so, like, I don't know why he didn't just, like, fuck me. And she's like, what do you mean? Like, why didn't he just, like, just bend me over and just start fucking me?
That's rape. Oh, voice crack. That's rape.
Like, there's that Louis C.K. joke. It's literally this girl right here. Like she just wanted me to, like, pounce on top of her, start ripping her clothes off, and fuck her.
Matt Lauer her.
Like with her not having any feedback into it. And it's like, I'm not going to do that.
At any point in the night, did she mention that her favorite... Uh-oh.
Spill.
Where's your towels or whatever?
I have some paper towels over here.
I want to thank Sunkiss for ruining my jokes.
God damn it.
The mess is cleaned. It was quite sticky. Like the situation I was in.
Good segue.
Yeah.
So, at any point, now she basically wanted you to rape her. Or by some people's definition, what would have been rape.
Yes.
But what she would have seen as a very aggressive, come on, if you
Literally.
will.
Yeah, she wanted me to be very aggressive with her, and I think I believe that if I was extra aggressive to that point, that she would have reciprocated. I learned at some later point that she kind of likes like really rough sex, kind of like that. So I think that's kind of her turn on, maybe. But either way, like
that and smoothies.
Yeah.
How would I know? No, I think you do have a point, Steve. That if I was more forward and to say, she came in, she's like, hey, so we're fucking now or a little bit later. Like, I think that maybe would be the best way to go on.
But if that's not you, then that's never going to come out and sound smooth. It's always going to sound awkward.
Yeah, and that's
like,
so far what you should actually do that it's like, obviously you wouldn't think to just be like, yo, let's fuck. It's like...
Well, the situation made me think maybe I'm not great for hookup culture. Maybe I need a relationship. And, like, there's a little fantasy there with having like a hookup and like being nice, and it's kind of like a standard male kind of thing. I mean, it's a female thing too, but especially with males. But it was a lot more complex than I had anticipated. most certainly.
I do not like the idea of a hookup. Like, that's just not something that has ever been a fantasy. Like,
sketchy. There's too much that can go wrong.
Without a relationship, it doesn't do anything for me.
I really like the idea, but mostly she's hot.
Okay, that's fair.
She was pretty hot.
At any point in the night, did she mention that, like, her favorite comedian was Bill Cosby, or she really liked the work of Harvey Weinstein, or she loved, like, a Matt Lauer?
Matt Lauer and your
She
daddy.
was like, her favorite basketball player was Kobe.
No.
Any more rape jokes, anyone? You?
Fuck, I can't think of any. God damn it.
I took your Matt Lauer from
You
earlier.
did. You stole that Matt Lauer. It's fine.
So
Now, Shannon did kind of. So Shannon
Kevin Spacey
thought that I was at fault potentially because, like, how did you mess this up? I had this perfect for you.
yeah.
Like she's like.
So then after she talked to Jessica, what did she say?
She was like,
Jessica's fucked.
essentially, she's like, Nate, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened there.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I'm just so sorry.
I did not mean to give you super blue balls and get you dragged into Big Lots. And you didn't even get a smoothie. Like, okay, there's like so many aspects of this that are beyond the I just wanted him to rape me thing. Like that in and of itself is weird, but there's so many other aspects like the not even offering for you to get a smoothie, like the wanting to just drive around all night. Like, where was the opportunity in any of the things you did after the initial meetup for you to rape her?
Ugh, that just sounds.
I know
awful.
that it has to be,
But it is essentially what she is asking
for you to be that aggressive. So I'm gonna get so many like angry messages
like, "God damn it."
where people like, no, it's not rape for if a guy's aggressive, but in the context of how things were,
She literally wanted him to
it was
fuck her without even being like, let's do it.
I think more than anything was the guilt. I think that's what stopped her. Maybe, do you know, Nate, was this her first time hooking up with anybody in her open relationship?
No, she did hookups a lot. I mean, I want to say like a lot.
Allegedly, or
No, she
you
was
can corroborate?
She was quite open about like hooking up.
But I mean, she also was quite open about how she wants to fuck you. So like, how much can we trust what she's saying if what she's saying has like twinges of truth?
I suppose that's true. So I can't verify that she hooked up with people because I did not watch her fuck, but she alleged to have hooked up and was not like bashful about it. She saw it more like as a not like a sense of pride, but kind of like, yeah, you know, I got laid. Like she was a bit more like that, a bit more. She didn't see it as a bad thing. Like she liked sex and she liked that she was getting sex from these guys. And I thought I was just gonna be one of those guys who would use protection, of course.
Good.
Good way to throw that one in.
No STDs.
So there were like so many weird little aspects to it that I don't know what more you could have done. Like, once you left your house, was there any opportunity for you to just bend her over and fuck her?
No.
Like,
there's
realistically,
never an opportunity
like
for that.
Big Lots,
Okay, well, yeah.
like getting a smoothie. Were you supposed to give her a lady dome while she's fucking driving?
Lady dome.
Like,
Is that a thing?
if you eat a girl out, yeah, that's.
Why
a thing.
call it lady dome? Just
But
call it
like in the
dome.
car? Like while
Roadhead?
she's driving?
I'm sure it's possible. Yeah, was it a standard or an automatic?
I'm trying to just like imagine.
How flexible are you, Nate?
I gotta like.
How flexible is she?
How long's your tongue?
I'm gonna do some research here.
All right, do some research on
Length of your tongue.
Lady Roadhead, and so what? There was no other opportunity. So I don't. When do you think she started feeling guilty? Was it like when she got to your house and you started making advances? She's thinking in her head like, I have a boyfriend, but I mean, I'm questioning whether she was honest with all the time she was bragging or not, or if this was really her first time actually quote unquote cheating on her boyfriend. And if that's the case, then where does the lying end? Like, does she even have an open relationship? Did she even ask her boyfriend?
Does she even have a boyfriend?
Why else would she bring that up as feeling guilty? Unless she was lying. Was she lying in the fact that she has an open relationship, or was she lying in the fact that that was a reason that she didn't do it?
See, this is where it's weird. I don't know. I don't know. But she expressed to Shannon many times after that was that she was disappointed and she just wanted to fuck me and she didn't know why I wasn't fucking her. Like this is like after that occasion, or why I wasn't trying to continue after her.
Let's talk post-mortem. So after the death of this date, we'll call it, I guess, what happened other than the meeting with Shannon?
So we continued our conversation, just casual conversation, and I kind of showed my distance, I guess. Like I kind of started maybe happening, and Shannon was like, just forget it. And then Shannon at a few points, like a month later or two, she's like, might as well just go for it. Why not? Because I was leaving that branch and going to another branch after that. And so eventually I moved to another branch, and I'm like, okay, I can be a bit more forward now. And she also left like that franchise and went to another franchise. So I'm like, okay.
Did she go to the smoothie place?
No.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Go on.
But it's like, okay. So eventually I get the thought one day as I was just working, and I'm working with Shannon. I transferred Shannon as well to the new place I was working. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna text her this and see what she says. So I send her this message, and instead of reading it, I'm gonna show you guys.
Okay.
It's at the bottom.
Just straight up DTF.
Okay, that's a dick pic.
Wait a second.
And what's... Okay, it just says DTF question mark.
Yes.
Okay.
Straightforward.
You know what that stands for, right?
Down to fuck?
Yeah.
Question?
Question.
And so she sends back.
What the fuck?
Literally, that's what she says. What the fuck?
So I had covered my bases here because I had a little plan where if she was like, okay, I'd be like, okay, let's do it. Let's get this fucking out of the way because she wants me to be straightforward. I'll be straightforward. But if she reacted bad like this, I would just say, Shannon did it. Shannon said that. She was just messing around.
Oh, the classic.
Messy.
Classic.
Very classic, though.
Very, very bad. Go on.
So she reacted that way. So then Shannon started messaging her like, hey, did you get my message? Yeah, I stole Nate's phone. And
you had Shannon roped into
Okay.
it? Okay, that's the next step. That's next level.
That's
Go
crazy.
on.
so
That's awful.
Shannon's a real one, kind of. But
Shannon is the realest motherfucker.
fuck, though?
this was the whole contingency plan, though, because I talked to Shannon about this plan. Like, I'm going to send this. Should I send this? She's like, yes. Actually, if it goes wrong, like we had to came up with this whole plan here. Like, she'd take the bail for it.
You're outing her right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay, so I guess it's not going to happen. And then after that, I get this message.
Okay, we'll see.
We'll see? Wait.
What the fuck?
Hold on. So, you send it at 8 in the morning, which is a weird time to send that, I'm not going to lie.
DTF.
The response was what the fuck, which was 16 minutes later. So, 15 minutes later. And then a day later at 3 p.m., she says, we'll see.
So,
Okay, with no prompting from Nathan.
Right, and this is after Shannon had told her, oh, this is me, I did this, lol.
And Shannon cleared all that stuff up around like 9 a.m. 10 a.m.
What the fuck?
Okay.
the previous day.
Yeah. So, within an hour, it was all resolved as that was all Shannon.
So,
Do you
she's joking?
think Shannon went back to her and let her know that was really Nate? Like, he was trying to get you so that you were spared the awkwardness, but you also still had a chance.
But why did she react the way she reacted?
With the what the fuck?
With the what the fuck? Yeah, because that's obviously she's like...
She wasn't expecting it at 8 in the morning to
Okay,
be like,
yeah.
well, fuck.
She's waking up, hasn't even brushed her
She,
teeth yet.
wakes up, looks at her phone, and is like, well, fuck. Okay.
I mean, maybe that was part of the mistake. We did it at that time.
8 in the morning. Jesus Christ.
Donuts are rising, so am I.
God damn it.
But in my defense and Shannon's defense too, we were getting up at like 3 a.m. to open the store. Okay. So there's that. But I was just kind of like, I started the We'll See, and I was like, I'm done with this. Like, I'll keep being your friend, but I'm not pursuing this anymore. This is just like too confusing because chances are I'm gonna invite her over to my house, and it's gonna be like the same thing again. and it's be like,
well, this time you just fuck her.
well, no, I feel like it's gonna be. That's what you would think, but I'm just like, fuck this.
Okay, go on.
And I showed it to Shannon, and Shannon was like, "What the fuck is up with this fucking bitch? No, fucking just drop her."
Sociopath.
So is there anything after that?
We went bowling one time and laser tag and with Shannon.
Wait, was that one sequence or was that two separate events?
Same event. It's the same place. I can actually show you the picture of that. I'll say her face wasn't as attractive, and she wasn't wearing a very good outfit there.
Busted.
But
he's showing a picture for the first time, and now he's preempting it with, "This isn't a good representation."
Well, I
of her
mean,
true
granted,
essence."
a lot of the time that is the case. Like, there's some attractive people that look a lot better in person than they do in photographs.
I'd say her face is average. Looks a little worse in the picture. Her face is average, but her body was what was really nice. I mean, I'd say, so I don't really need like a big ass. I kind of like
I'm
the
going
tight.
to PM her this episode.
PM?
But that's her in the middle there.
Yeah, because I know Shannon. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we went bowling, and I guess she doesn't have many clothes, so she wore like this old like thing like.
Oh,
to it.
now we're critiquing
This
her
whole
outfit.
thing.
But
Her shoes.
was
Nate's
weird.
just living in her car, and Nate's critiquing her fucking outfit.
But what was
Brutal.
What was weird is so at the new franchise, or at the new store rather, there was this girl who was like obsessed with me, like a little too obsessed. Like
Yikes.
So you fired her.
no, but she kept on trying to get me to fuck her, like and come over her house and hang out and stuff, and I just had to keep playing dumb, and so Shannon was just kind of telling stories about it because it was funny, and we'd both given up on Jessica essentially. It's like Shannon's bringing up like this other person, let's call her like Kirsten, and yes, and Jessica's like making these like kind of weird comments, kind of like she owns me a little bit, or she like has a piece of this. It's like, well, what? Not if I get in there. What would she say if I stop talking to her? It's like Shannon's just like, well, what if? I mean, what do you mean? What are you trying to say? Are you trying to say you have in on that? Because you denied that like 20 times.
So wait. So do you think she goes to other people now and tells them about her sexual exploits with you, the same way she did with all of these other people that she supposedly had sexual exploits with? That I am taking a firm stance that I believe she is an outright liar about all of it. Maybe even the boyfriend.
Well, this is
That,
where
I don't know.
Maybe even the boyfriend, unless she named her car boyfriend.
True. She's sticking it in the tailpipe.
I mean,
It works, trust me.
Whose tailpipe? Hers or the car's?
Both.
Tailpipe to tailpipe.
Exactly.
so I mean, I don't want to like generalize like men in general, but Brian, would you agree with me that like chances are if you went on a date with like a girl goes on a date with a guy and the guy is even remotely attracted to that girl, the guy's probably gonna fuck her if he has a chance, right?
I mean, maybe.
Maybe?
If she's interested. Like, I don't know.
I mean, if she like just like wants to hook up and it's kind of like obvious.
I think what he's saying is that if a guy finds a girl attractive, he wants to fuck her.
Yeah.
Is the general consensus of men.
I would definitely agree because I'm very... I mean, as I am a male, but I definitely view it as men are definitely sex hungry.
So, like, the chances that a guy would turn down a girl versus the other way around are, like, astronomically different.
Men are disgusting.
Like maybe she's trying to play. So maybe she's denying these guys, and she's not actually having sex with them, but saying she's having sex because she wants to seem edgier, more adult, and stuff like that. Maybe there's that chance, but I don't think there's much of a chance that she's not getting laid because her body was really nice, her face wasn't bad. I mean, so I don't know why people wouldn't be having sex with her unless they're worried about disease and stuff like that. I mean, maybe.
Well, if what I'm saying is, if she has a boyfriend, that's why she's not having sex with other people, because she feels guilty about having a boyfriend. So she's lying about it because she quote unquote has an open relationship, which could also be a lie.
Yeah.
Did anybody ever meet the boyfriend?
No. Also,
Are there pictures?
so
Are they friends on Facebook?
Further cementing that it's the car. It's Big Lots. She's dating Big Lots.
Oh my god, that exclamation point gets me bothered.
I'm done.
So this goes a little bit deeper, and this podcast is running a little long, so we'll end it soon. But so this is where it gets confusing with the boyfriend. I'm pretty sure she did have an open relationship with him, because it sounds like he was more sleeping around than her, and she was more like, like she was okay with that. Like she wasn't like
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say allegedly in front of it all because in my mind, they had he existed, they had a quote unquote open relationship that she was not fulfilling, and she didn't like the fact that he was. And you've seen House, in the whole Taub situation where he gets his wife to agree to having an open relationship, but when it comes time for him to actually have sex with another woman, she like backs out of it and says, I don't want this anymore. I feel like it's that situation. But she feels guilty telling him that she doesn't like it. So instead she makes up these sexual exploits but can't get herself to do it herself. That is my headcanon.
So the only problem I have with that is she would bring in some of the guys she was seeing when she was dating her boyfriend, after the fact.
Did she go through the drive-thru and only order for herself?
No, she would kind of bring him in sometimes because she'd want to show him off to her friend there. But it's not clear that they were having sex necessarily. So it
very well could have been a Nathan Pepin situation.
Yeah, very very cool.
She just does it.
One of the things so this is where it gets a little bit intimate here. So one of the reasons why she was dissatisfied, she's a little bit dissatisfied with her boyfriend. And so she was living with her boyfriend initially, but her boyfriend was living with her mom. And her boyfriend was living with his mom, and his mom was that show Hoarders, where they have like real serious hoarders. Like there wasn't any room to like move in the house apparently.
Christ.
And the boyfriend was just kind of okay with it. Like he's like, but I guess it was just disgusting. Like, so she decided to move out of there and just kind of live in her car. And she was just dissatisfied with that. So there's some dissatisfaction with their romance. Maybe this was a way of doing it, but I also think she was just a horny person, and I think she just wanted to fuck me as well. I mean, I think that was very clear that she wanted some sexual intercourse with me.
She mentioned wanting to suck her boss's dick, so
that's where that's where it's weird. Cause I agree. There's a whole interplay of like so many different fucking factors.
There were a lot of miscommunications,
too many
twists and turns that were completely unexpected and very expected. And definitely the most awkward date I've ever heard of.
It's crazy.
Someday I'll tell you about the awkward date I went on once.
Well,
please do.
Yeah. I mean, okay, we'll have to cover that most certainly. I mean, discussing things and talking about things is something that we definitely do here, which is why we want you to talk to us about your awkward date story. This is not a good segue.
I also want to know what other people think of this. Do they have a theory? Do they agree with me that she was gaslighting the whole situation? Or do you agree with Nate that she wasn't gaslighting it, that it's all true, but she just wanted something that basically to be raped? Or do you agree with Brian in having no opinion at all?
She's fucked. I have that opinion.
Okay, that's a good opinion.
She's just
fucked. Or do you agree with
fucked.
Brian that she's just fucked? Or
the whole situation.
Or best situation, you have a way to explain everything that happened. You need to get at us on Twitter at WNTT1.
Although hypothesis A.6 is that she wanted a relationship and not like a simple hookup, and this was a way to get a relationship with me. So she didn't want to just fuck because she wanted that would kind of like deter from the relationship or whatever.
Do you believe in Nate's relationship 8.6, his hypothesis? Get at us on Facebook at We Need to Talk Show.
Also, we have a Patreon where you can donate to us. Also, I think we're part of some... No, they're not going to give you money. You're going to give us money. You don't deserve money. And also, we have Patreon. You can donate to us there. Give us money or don't. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, it's better if you do, but if you don't, I guess it's your personal choice. Also, we're on a network. Our network is Podcast NH. There's many great podcasts there. There is Shit Happens When You Party Naked.
Damn You Diary.
And there's also the New Hampshire Business Podcast, and they interview businesses from New Hampshire. This is a New Hampshire-based podcast network, so it's very, very cool. And
There's a fishing podcast. There's a hunting podcast. There's a podcast about how to be a better parent. And pretty much anything you want to hear about is on there, and there's more coming soon. So, podcastnh.com. Listen free or die.
And, you know, we mentioned a couple episodes. We mentioned Shannon a lot in this episode here. And
listen, Shannon is my favorite guest, Brian, that we've ever had.
Okay. All right.
You're supposed to take offense.
I mean, I don't blame you.
Oh, wow. Now I'm sad. Now I feel bad. No, Brian, you're my favorite
Just got
guest.
this.
But we try to tag things properly with, say, iTunes and the podcast things we use, but it can be hard to find exact episode we're talking about. We might even say episode 20-something, and you're like, okay, I still can't find it.
There's literally over 100 episodes.
Yeah, so there's actually one really good way to find it if you need help, and that is listennotes.com.
Go on to listennotes.com. It's basically Google, but it's only going to give you podcast episodes. Try We Need to Talk Shannon or Zombies, and you're going to find it, and you're going to be happy you did.
Yeah, and we try to include the guest name in there, so if you ever was a guest name that you kind of, when's it had that guy on? Was his name Matt Drew? Oh, yeah, it's going to be in the episode title, so definitely check it out. We also keep the descriptions lucrative with detail.
Detailed jokes, and Nate usually writes those, and he does a great job, so I want to take my hat off to him, literally and figuratively, on that work. He does a lot of the editing too, so pulling back the curtain a little bit, lifting up the skirt, if you will. Nate, you do a great job, and I really appreciate everything that you do, and I know that the fans do as well.
Thank you. Also, whoever finds the secret little dick emoji in one of the descriptions will get $100.
I didn't even know about that one. Oh my god, I'm gonna go look for him right now.
I'm on it.
Well, you know, you said you had an awkward date story?
Yeah, I have actually a pretty good one.
Okay, we're gonna have to save this for later. So later, we need to talk.